Have you ever seen a franchise fee that's just so high and it's hard to justify why it might be worth pursuing that franchise? Or maybe it looks high, but you're not sure. In today's video, we're gonna go through when a franchise fee is just too high, where you should consider other franchises, or just opening up your own independent business in that industry. So there's some pretty big brands where the franchise fee is actually not that high. So Chick-fil-A, it's just a $10,000 investment from you as the business operator. Unfortunately, you don't actually have a stake in the business. You don't own the business literally, but you have 50% of any profits that the business generates you can get. So $10,000 investment, you could be making in the range $200,000 to $400,000 operating a Chick-fil-A restaurant, and you can even open up a second one, maybe even a third one, but you're going to be capped probably at 2 Chick-fil-A restaurants. So that's not bad. A franchise fee at $10K, and you could be making $200,000 to $400,000. Again, you can't sell the business. You're not going to make a nice capital gain, but that makes sense. $10,000, that's not bad. There are some franchisors for a single unit will charge $60,000. And you can get a lot of marketing and a lot of support for $60,000, where that franchisor's value stack for a single location, if they're charging you $60,000, really needs to be tight to justify how you're going to get a nice financial return over a 10-year period, especially when you incorporate the royalties that will be paid to the franchisor. Whether it's $100,000, $200,000 of royalties over that 10-year period, it's got to make sense. And there are franchises at $60,000 for just one territory makes sense, but there's others where $50,000, $60,000 franchise fee doesn't make sense, and it's going to be difficult to justify that when you compare it to another franchise brand in that category, or just starting your own independent business. So paying, that high franchise fee, and I say, over $30,000, over $40,000 is a high franchise fee, $50,000, $60,000. Are the revenues going to be significantly higher than some of those other franchise options? Is it going to be a lot easier to open? Is there a higher multiple when you sell the business? Also, what's the transfer fee? So in the franchise disclosure document, you'll be able to see what the franchise transfer fee is, because you have to incorporate. You as a seller are basically going to have to pay again, half the franchise fee, a quarter of the franchise fee, potentially the whole franchise fee, because the new buyer, when they're shopping and buying an existing franchise business or just an existing business, they're comparing prices on the open market. So if you have invested in a franchise system that also has a high transfer fee, that's going to be a negative point when you go to sell in year 5, 6, 7, or after that. I was looking at a fitness franchise that was heavily marketed by one franchise broker consulting network, and it was a $60,000 franchise fee and then another $300,000 to build out. And I estimate this business makes $50,000 to $60,000 a year. So when you consider what you can get for $360,000, it doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up. It's better to save that $60,000 and buy an existing business, buy an existing franchise, or look at another opportunity that you can just simply make more money. So that's the key question. Essentially, it's fine paying a huge fee. There are international developers of large chains like McDonald's, Burger King that are opening up in countries, and they're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a franchise fee. But the opportunity is large. They could be potentially building a $50 million, $100 million business based on those franchise fees and obviously the ongoing royalties. So do your homework, understand from the franchisor, and then checking that with existing franchisees how much money you can potentially make from that franchise business opportunity to justify if a high franchise fee is worth it or it just isn't worth it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give us a like and subscribe to our video, and leave in the comment section if there's some franchises that have a really low franchise fee that makes a lot of sense to potentially look at.